we are. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of 333 News. Now, on this week's episode, we do have a few major things to report that could potentially be devastating. And yeah, it's not like we have anything that good this week. So, we're going to start by announcing the fact that there is now a third surge underway of COVID-19 cases throughout the US. And it is happening in almost every state. Even Massachusetts, which is currently reporting the lowest case rate of all of the states that are included within this surge. Or, well, that's what we think. It's probably not. But they are still below 800 per day, which I find to be a good thing. Whereas most states are going over 1,000 per day as of now, which is causing the US to now have a third surge of COVID-19 cases. And a few days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, there was a day with 70,000 plus reported cases in the US, which is not a good sign. However, yesterday we only had around 50,000, 60,000 cases in a day. Which means India is technically still leading in the case rate, however it is now very close to being tied up, and the US might take that throne again. And, well, we honestly hope not, and that is why we are going to urge you right here and now to please follow all of the CDC and WHO guidelines that are being issued. We really do not want this virus to continue spreading and causing world devastation. And the reason that it is doing that is because people are failing to follow the guidelines. It's very simple to wear a mask. It's very simple to keep socially distant. 6 feet is not a lot of space. You can do it. And trust me, a mask will save your life and so many others. So please, just do it and stop ignoring the guidelines. That's all we ask, and that's all the World Health Organization and CDC would like to ask of you in order to stop the spread. It's not hard, and it will make a big difference if everyone does it. So please, just follow the guidelines, dang it. Alright, well, that rant's over. Now we're gonna move on to the fact that we have some active tropics this year. So yes, you may remember 2005 as currently the most active recorded Atlantic hurricane season. And this year, 2020's Atlantic hurricane season is pretty much just as active so far, because it's the first time in 15 years that we've made it to the Greek alphabet, and we are currently tracking 2 disturbances to potentially be Hurricane Epsilon, or probably just Tropical Storm Epsilon, and Major Hurricane Zeta. And Zeta is where we stopped at in 2005. And if we are seeing both of those disturbances in October, then there is a potential that records will be broken this year. We already have the record broken for most storms to make landfall this year on the US alone. So, this is a record-breaking year in terms of Atlantic hurricane season. Not only have we already gotten the most amount of storms to make landfall this year, but we could also see the most amount of named storms overall this year in the Atlantic. And yeah, it has gotten pretty intense. We've had Hurricane Laura, a Category 4 to make landfall in Louisiana, followed by Hurricane Delta, which took a similar path not that long ago. So, the tropics have been devastating this year, and I would like you all to keep your eyes peeled for Epsilon and Zeta. I do not see Epsilon making landfall in our predictions. It will likely stay out in the Atlantic, so there will be no need to worry about it. But since it is likely developing, it will become a named storm and will add on to our list. The one that is more likely to cause damage to make landfall at this moment is what we predict as Hurricane Zeta, if it builds up to tropical storm status. So, that's all we've got for tonight. I hope you follow the guidelines I recommended in this video. And they are not my guidelines. They are those that are continually issued and pushed out by the WHO and CDC, and I would like you to follow them for the safety of you and everyone else. Gotta push it out because I like everyone to stay safe, and I'd like this pandemic to end as soon as possible. Thank you if you cooperate, and thank you for watching this week's episode of 333 News. I will see you next week for next week's episode. Goodbye.